meteorologist Patrick report. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Here comes Dale Earnhart Jr. He's got third. He's going for second. Earnhardt going for the lead.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Hear it live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Check it out live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Hey, what do you think? You like that, Alan?
There's actually a physical therapy company that uses this as their song. So
that kind of fits, doesn't it?
It does. Let's get physical. We just need Olivia Newton-John now.
Oh, man. What about this weather today?
It's awesome. I don't know about you, but I like the colder weather. Been waiting for it. It needs to be here.
I lived in Florida for 10 years and was enjoying the heat, but I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
But I came from North Central PA when I moved down there, and we had one winter where it did not get above freezing, and I'm not joking, for 4 or 5 months.
I like the summers, but one thing I don't like about Florida and what I don't like about here is the humidity. So it's always refreshing when it starts to cool down here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it takes time for your body to assimilate because you'll know that because you're into all this physical therapy stuff and health. And you can see by my stature, I'm into health and fitness and
everybody has it. You know, what did they say? Round is a shape.
I got the genes of my grandfather. What am I supposed to do?
Seriously.
Short, cute, and fat.
I left the house early.
I'm not fat. I'm big bone.
Yeah,
okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
I left the house early this morning, about 5-ish.
Yeah.
Had a lot to do today, but I just started a new exercise program. It's pretty intense. And
really?
I don't really recommend it, especially these people that do PX90. It's really intense. So I got to the gym. I walked into the pool area. I looked at the pool, looked at the hot tub. I got in the hot tub for 30 minutes, got out. I was sweating. It took me about 30 minutes to cool down. So it's pretty intense.
5 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
But you know what they say, though? Here's the deal. If you take a hot bath for 30 minutes, you can burn up to 400 calories.
How about if you take it with somebody else?
Probably even more. Yeah, probably more. Absolutely.
Come on in, honey. I want to burn more calories.
Exactly.
Come on. We're not burning. That's a good excuse. I'll use that line.
So it's my
the doctor told me, Alan told me, I need to burn more calories. Get in this tub.
Actually, you got to be. I use the hot tub at Gold's Gym.
Okay.
But that thing, I don't know, 110 degrees.
That's even better. You got a bigger variety there, right?
It was hard to sit in there because at that temperature. And I was reading the rules there. You're not supposed to do more than 10 minutes of any of their device, like steam room, sauna, whirlpool. I did 30 minutes, so I don't recommend it to anybody. It was really hot. I had to get out every 3 to 4 minutes and get in the pool and cool off.
Well, I thought it was 104 degrees was max for
I think that's
10.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And maybe it was, and maybe I'm a little bit of a sissy.
I don't know. I couldn't listen.
But it was hot. It was really hot. I couldn't stay in there that long. So, but maybe I burnt 400 calories this morning, and that's what I need because I'm going to be eating some serious turkey here pretty quick.
Yeah. And then you got to deal with shrinkage. Remember that Seinfeld episode, right?
Exactly. My big problem is I've got all these nice suits I don't fit into anymore.
Hey, man, you work out. Look at you.
Even this
Look
one
at you go.
Even this one I got on is it's a little tight. I need to back off a little bit so I can get into these suits.
Well, Alan is the proprietor of Alliance Physical Therapy. You've got 10 locations.
We do. So we've got a lot of locations in the Chattanooga area. There's one in North Georgia on Battlefield Parkway. We have one in Dunlap, one in Ooltewah, and one in Cleveland.
So you cover most of our signal area.
We do.
As far as our signal's concerned.
Absolutely.
And then we have a lot of listeners on the internet at hotnewstalkradio.com, noogaradio.com. You can watch this live on YouTube at hotnewstalkradio.com. Go to Twitter. I mean, everywhere. Actually, on Facebook too. Russell.
Absolutely.
I want to get Russell to shoot. Why don't we do some live stuff on Facebook?
I was going to do my
That guy's
Facebook,
always
but my volume's not working.
How's he stay so skinny? The guy always eats. He's eating like nonstop. I eat like a meal a day, and I'm a pig. I mean, I'm like 90 pounds. This guy eats constantly.
It's a metabolism issue. You did not get.
Why did he come in here?
Genetics. You called him.
Yeah, but I asked him to call him in to do Facebook. He ran in and ran out. But all right. So first of all, before we get into the Alliance Physical Therapy, I need to know how you do it, because Alan's going to be. This is his show, Monday, 11 to 12. You get to ask him questions, learn a lot about physical therapy and health and so on and so forth. Jot this number down: 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. That's our call-in line. You can also text questions. You can email questions, and we'll give them to him the next week. Now, you don't have to call today, because basically I've got so many questions, you would just be annoying me. So, hold your phone calls off until next week. But let's first talk about 10 locations, Alan. I have enough trouble. I had a 6-station group at one time, and I wanted to kill everybody. I mean, I wanted to, like, what are you doing? Are you going to shoot it on that?
Yeah.
Really? That phone puts that great video on there? That little.
Absolutely.
Wow. All right. We're going to shoot some Facebook here. So you can, if you're listening in your car and you have a Facebook account, you can actually tune in a couple of minutes and check out Alan. Don't shoot me, man.
He's going to cut this for me, and we're going to put it on the Alliance Facebook page as well. So I'm excited about that.
Great. But first of all, we have to talk about your 10 locations.
Okay.
And I hear they are unbelievable. Steve tells me you have to go see these locations. He said this guy is a consummate professional. When you walk in that door, you're dealing with a professional operation. All his people are professional. So just before we get into that, my question is, how did you do it? Because when I had my six-station group, I wanted to kill everyone but about 4 people out of 64. So how do you do this? And I've been on your website. I've looked at the video, blah, 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 without wanting to kill everyone that works for you.
Okay, so I feel what you're saying, but let me say this. I think that part of what you're asking me is part of what is the problem with this nation right now. We have lost all sense of ourselves. We are killing our police officers. We're angry. We are very angry. And that translates into everything, and it works. So you say that because I got to work. Anybody that has to spend the day with
stress, we get stressed.
We are stressed.
Yeah. I have high blood pressure now.
Yeah,
high blood pressure.
I may get a text from one employee says this happened. I get an email from a patient that said somebody did this to me. And you start to get angry.
Yeah,
and you've got to bottle that up and put it somewhere. Okay, somewhere healthy, because if you let that flow out of you, you're just adding to what's going on in this nation right now. More negativity, more anger. And so, yeah, it's hard to run a business and not constantly be angry. And this is what somebody told me. Alan, you of all people have this expectation way up here. You expect too much from people. Now, there's nothing wrong with expecting a lot from people, especially if you don't have high expectations for people. They don't reach those expectations. They stay where they're at. But in business, if this is your expectation, you should really realistically look for 70% of it.
See, I'm with you. I'm for 100% of the time. Yeah, because that's what I give. I don't accept 99.9%.
See, and that's
so. How did you learn how to do that? And we have a lot of business people listening. A lot, not only in this market but all over the world. I mean, China is our second biggest listenership. So how do you do that? How do you convert that anger or that expectation of 100% into positive energy?
So 2 things specifically that I do. Number 1, I talk to God all day long. I mean, if you see me driving down the road, you might see me talking to myself, and really it's just me talking to God. And so that's my outlet. Okay, but the other thing that's really critical, and one of my marketers taught me this early on. I carry so much stress on me that you can see it on my face. I did it to somebody I met with this morning at 7:30. I thought I was doing 2 pre-records at Channel 3 this morning. I was going to do this show. I've got multiple other things that I need to do with, and I was really quick with this person, and I could tell that I probably came off as a jerk, right? So one of my employees told me, listen to me. I see it. Your mind is going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you need to slow down in your mind. And you need to tell yourself and consciously tell yourself to slow down, number one, and say it to yourself repeatedly. And when you're dealing with people, you need to put a smile on your face before you go in to see them.
That's smart.
And it changes your attitude instantly.
Yeah.
So when you talk to yourself and you tell yourself verbally to do these things, it will change you.
Right.
If you just sit there and go in with anger, you're going to finish with anger.
Right.
But if you tell yourself ahead of time, you admit to yourself, you've got an issue. You've got a lot of stress on you. Right now, you need to take a deep breath. You need to calm down, put things in perspective, okay? And tell yourself that the world's not going to end right now.
Right.
You know,
but sometimes it is good to be angry, but why waste it on things that aren't worth being angry at?
Exactly.
So, a police officer just being shot today for no good reason. You could be angry at that.
You know.
So Alliance Physical Therapy, how do you treat people in, let's say, issues that are there because of their anger, chronic pain? I read a study where 75% of these ailments are coming literally from mental issues. You could cause yourself to have cancer. You could cause yourself back pain. How do you address those issues?
Okay, so very, very good point right now. And I just want to, since you brought that up, I'm going to digress here just a bit. It's Thanksgiving. I think it's an appropriate time to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I'm saddened by the fact that I think at least one of the 3 police officers that was shot yesterday has died. Again, a lot of anger. I appreciate the fact that there are people that still care. And here's the thing that I would like to propose to everybody that's listening is that we have got to reach out and make a difference, because if we don't, we not only add to the problems that are going on, it negatively affects us, and it causes what you just talked about. Pain in your neck, pain in your back, and that translates into dysfunctional movement. And that translates into you not being able to go to work. That translates into you being angry with your family for no good reason. That translates into lost wages. And it's a major problem in the United States. And so pain, you and I were talking about it earlier. I believe that the figure is $640 billion problem in the United States. We spend 640, and this was back in 2008, 2010. So back pain alone is probably about 82 billion of those dollars. Okay, so it's a serious problem.
Wow.
And probably in the United States, it's 200 million Americans are affected by pain, and the loss in wages alone, and the 300 of billions of dollars. So it's a serious problem.
How important is the holistic approach to this?
I think it's very important. So, it's not something that we as physical therapists approach. We don't necessarily approach the health aspect of it from the diet point of it, but we encourage it. So here, to share this, I think, because this is really critical. You are what you eat, okay? So the basis of what happens to us, whether we can handle negative events that occur in our lives, really translates into whether you are physically, mentally able to do that. You are what you eat. So number one, a lot of the pain issues we have are a byproduct of the fact that we are unhealthy eaters.
We need to make just better choices. Let me tell you what I've done in the past week, because I had walking pneumonia, bronchitis, and I never go to the doctor. I was forced into it almost literally. And the high blood pressure, never had that. But what I've tried to do over the past 10 days is just make better choices.
Yeah.
Not go on. I've been on diets. I've lost 100 pounds. What I'm trying to do is, instead of going for that candy bar, maybe go for an apple or Activia, or just not really changing your entire diet, but just every once in a while making a better choice. Does that make sense?
Well, it definitely has to be a lifestyle change, and you do have to take one step at a time, because at the end of the day, the extremes, they don't work. You might work for a little bit, and then you just take a nosedive right after, and all the weight you lost comes back on in a fraction of the amount of time it took you to take it off.
Okay, I just walked into Alliance Physical Therapy. Beautiful office, beautiful people working there, great people. And I do have a lower back pain. A lot of people suffer with lower back pain. A lot of fat people in America, and I would just say it's because you're fat, and then that causes an issue. But with lower back pain, I'm not asking you to diagnose everybody, but what I see doctors doing is just pills, one pill after another, and the detrimental effects that you see from these companies issuing pills. You see it on TV all the time. You see one ad that tells you to take a pill for your lower back pain, and the next ad, the same company's being sued because taking the pill, you can no longer satisfy your wife.
It is.
If you can't satisfy your wife anymore, maybe you were taking this pill for your lower back. So how do we solve that problem without taking pill after pill?
I wish I had the answers. I will tell you, it's an epidemic. The opiate abuse right now is out of control, and it is a major financial problem for the United States as well. So here's the thing, though. You know, you're in pain. You know what I'm about to tell you. All of us do it. Okay, you're in pain. You call your doctor up, and you go see your doctor. And what do you want? You just want relief, right? Your doctor's not a physical therapist. He's not a surgeon. Right. So what does he do? He evaluates you. He does a great assessment of you. He decides, okay, you look like you might have a herniation in your disc, or you got a muscle spasm. Okay, this is what you really need to do. Right now, all I really want you to do is go home and take some over-the-counter medications, you know, put some heat on it and relax. Or he may end up giving you a narcotic prescription, okay, an opiate of some sort. And at that point, you end up going home, and that's what you're using to fix your problem. I want to share something that I think will help listeners understand why the way we do healthcare for back pain issues and pain issues as a general rule is hurting us, okay? Number one, the longer we go without physical therapy, the greater the chance that this problem becomes chronic. Okay. And if it becomes chronic, we're going to be dependent on medications to solve it. And then that means we get addicted to the medications. And while on those medications, if you've ever risked the Santa Claus type list of all the side effects that are in one medication, that, and on the bottom, it basically tells you this can kill you. Okay. So you're dealing with everything else that comes with that. So you start gaining weight, you're depressed, you don't have any energy, you don't sleep at night, restless leg syndrome, you get deterioration of your joints. So all of these things. So it's a snowball effect. Okay. So what we found is this. So Intel and Starbucks, they did a major study, because what they found out was that their employees were losing lots of money in healthcare costs, premium costs, loss of work hours, loss of productivity from their employees. So they looked at this model, and what our model in the United States generally is, you go to the doctor puts you on some medications, hopefully you get better, you don't get better, they do an x-ray if an x-ray is appropriate. If that doesn't work, then they go on to the MRI if your insurance allows for it, and then we're maybe 20 days out from the original problem that you had, and then if that doesn't work, you may go to a specialist. And because physical therapy is underutilized, there's a good chance you may not even get to physical therapy. And then maybe it's gotten so bad that you end up opting for surgery, which may or may not work, okay? And a lot of times, had you gone to physical therapy, none of that would have been necessary. So what they found, Intel and Starbucks, was that, first off, you go straight to the doctor, and then within 48 hours, you start physical therapy, okay? And here's the deal, and this is what we know. If you have an injury of any type, as long as it's not something that needs to be taken care of by surgery, then movement is optimal. The quicker you start moving, the quicker you recover. And patients that get into physical therapy are much more satisfied than patients that don't. They don't lose work, because with physical therapy, the beauty of it is you can go. You go at your lunch hour, you go before, you go during that. You lose an hour maybe, you're still at work. We want you to be at work because it's part of the physical therapy process. You recover in 12 visits, you're back to work. The employer doesn't lose you, because you could end up being a burden to them forever, okay, with chronic issues. Here's why it works. And do you have children?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've got 5 kids.
Yeah, 2 14-year-olds.
Yeah, and any of those out there that have young children right now will understand what I'm going to illustrate here. And if you don't have any children, or you did at some point, I just want you to think about when you were a young child. So you have a young child. He's riding his little bicycle. He falls off, right? And he bangs his knee. Okay, what's the first thing he starts doing? Or she? They start bawling.
Yeah.
They're crying. How long does that usually last?
Not long.
Not long, because what do we know that child wants to do?
Play.
They want to keep playing.
Yeah.
They want to keep moving. Is he in pain? Absolutely, he's in pain.
My 11-year-old, let me tell you about her. She was several months ago riding on a little scooter, fell and tore her knee up. Cried for about 10 seconds, got up and started playing again. She is so tough, and it healed quickly. Where the other girls, you know, they'll like over, what's wrong? I got a paper cut. And they focus on that and will just bawl forever.
Right.
But this little 11-year-old, and she just, nothing can stop her. And then the pain goes away and it starts to heal.
That's what's going on. The minute you have a dysfunction through an injury or you having pain, if you start moving, your circulatory system kicks in.
But is some of that pain because of people wanting sympathy, maybe negative attention?
More now today than ever before. We see that in public right now. But the truth of the matter is, with children, the point I want to make is that they get moving.
Right, they
recover
get moving
much faster.
Yeah.
With adults, we want to cry about it. I don't want to, but the truth of the matter is, you need to move. You need to start moving right away. Yeah. Ankle sprains.
But you're a guy, I can tell nothing keeps you down.
Oh, that's not true.
I mean, you don't really?
Yeah, well, I don't get sick that often. So I mean, there's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Nothing. Down. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, I can't get sick. I'm too busy.
Yeah,
I'm too busy. You can't get. We're too busy. And when we're sick, we don't even admit to being sick. I'm not really sick. As far as Alliance Physical Therapy and your philosophy on health and physical therapy, physical therapy means something different to every person. What exactly is physical therapy in your mind, and what do you promote? Let's talk about direct access too, regarding physical therapy.
Okay, so based on what we're just talking about, direct access. So almost all the states are now direct access states. Have you ever been to a chiropractor?
Yes.
Okay, so you have one that you would call?
No.
Okay, so let's just say you had one that you'd call. Okay, so you're
actually
feeling,
maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
so you're feeling
bad.
Your back hurts.
She was really good. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You know, and so you're like, okay, great. You get on the phone and you call them right up.
Yeah.
Say, do you have an appointment? My back's bothering me. Yeah, come on in. They schedule you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the way it is with physical therapy now.
Oh, okay.
If you're in pain, and because we know the statistics show that if you will get into physical therapy within 48 hours, you will recover faster. You will not lose wages. You will not lose work. You will have less problems. Because we know all that, we want you to get into physical therapy. And because our physical therapists are trained to weed out anything that's not within the scope of their practice, they will send you to the appropriate specialist to go for those things. But for what we're good at, which is musculoskeletal problems, lack of a loss of function, they will assess you right then and there. And in most cases, your insurance doesn't require a referral, okay, based on Tennessee laws, okay? But if your insurance does require a referral, then, in fact, we will help you get that referral.
And for what you do, this practice goes back thousands of years.
Yeah.
I was doing shows about this in the 70s when the medical profession was poo-pooing it, when, you know, you have thousands of years of history to prove that this physical therapy works, is effective, and most of all, is cost efficient. It's more affordable.
Exactly.
Than it's
the new route. If you go to physical therapy first, I don't know what the statistics are, but I think it's as much as a 20 or 30% savings in medical costs when you go to physical therapy first.
We're going to take this little break. We'll be back at AM 1240, Hot News Radio, Hot News Talk Radio, Nooga Radio now. Nooga Radio, AM 1240. And a surprise for you coming December 1st. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit. A brand new FM frequency.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Fox News Talk 1240.
Is your career taking you where you want to go? If not, talk to Covenant Group Insurance, especially if you like helping people. Call and learn how you can work for yourself, but not by yourself. Intense but free training, plus a fantastic lead program, plus office support equals your success, your prosperity. Gross at least $75,000 your first year selling insurance. Call Steve or Jada for a confidential interview. That's 855-8484. Maybe the most important call you'll make all year.
Looking for a dream home, or maybe you're just a first-time home buyer? Let an agent get you started today on your house search. If you're a real estate agent looking for a change, see what Exit can do for you. The agents at Exit Realty Scenic City are confident they can sell your house. They can do it in 99 days or less. If no one works harder for you than agents at Exit Realty Scenic City, licensed in Tennessee and Georgia. Exit sells quickly all types of commercial and residential properties and vacant land. Looking for a dream home, or maybe you're just a first-time home buyer? Let an agent get you started today on your house search. If you're a real estate agent looking for a change, see what Exit can do for you. Training, technology, branding, culture, and financial freedom. Again, Exit Realty Scenic City. Call 423-551-EXIT to learn more. Call 423-551-EXIT and learn more.
Terms and restrictions may apply.
We're at the Cantina at Amigos Mexican Restaurant. Yes, ma'am. 2 orders of nachos with beef and beans and 2 beers. Chattanooga loves its Amigos restaurants, but the Amigos in Hickson has something extra. NCAA, the week's big game. How about a house wine? Really good. Big name beers. Just tell Maria what you want. And here at Amigos, margaritas are popular. And it's only $3 a day. If you come here on a game day, Saturday, a Natty Light is only $2.25. Here at Amigos, just during NCAA, Natty Light, $2.25. Amigos Mexican Restaurant in Hickson. The happy hour is 3 to 9 today and every day. I'd say the atmosphere is festive. Look at that huge TV. It's like being amid the fans under a bright sun, but without all the heat. Stay cool. Quench your thirst. Amigos, between the Staples and Hobby Lobby. Take the table next to mine and enjoy the great NCAA game with friend or family here at the Cantina at Amigos Mexican Restaurant. Okay, it's starting.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Fox News Talk 1240.
Nooga Radio, AM 1240, Russell Stroud reporting. Packing heat paid off for one man after he was almost robbed at the Days Inn Motel on Carter Street. Police got a call of a man shot and found that it was the robber who was shot and not the victim, who was Stan Lindsay, 59 years old. Instead, they found the body of 42-year-old Delane Carlos Price dead on the ground. Police say Mr. Price has an extended criminal history. No charges are expected to be pressed. 2 serious car crashes over the weekend, one starting when a woman's car careened off the road into the oncoming lane and smashed into a UPS truck, throwing her from her car. She was not wearing a seatbelt. The UPS driver, David Weathers, was hurt as well. They were both taken to the hospital. And in Saudi Daisy, a man crashed over a bridge on Dayton Pike and into a creek bank. Police believe alcohol was a contributing factor. He was trapped in his car and firefighters pulled him out, and they believe alcohol was a contributing factor. Make a child's dream come true. Go to the Chick-fil-A at Northgate Mall. Pick out a tag, buy some presents, and make a child's dream come true.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Fox News Talk 1240.
He spent lots of sunshine out there through your afternoon. Slowly warming up, highs creeping into the upper 50s. Tonight, clear, cold and frosty again, lows near 30. Now for your Tuesday, mostly sunny, pleasant, highs near 62 with more clouds, a late shower possible Wednesday. The halls are decked at Abba's House Bookstore and Cafe in Hickson. Get a meaningful gift and feel good that the proceeds go to missions. Come check us out in the front lobby of Abba's House in Hickson. For discounts, abbashouse.com/coupon. And I'm Sports 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
I'll tell you what, Alan, the one thing I love about putting this bed together, I got to see a YouTube video of Olivia Newton-John doing this. I forgot about that. I remember as a kid. I think this was on MTV in the 80s. The physical video. Did you ever see it?
I don't know that I ever saw. I mean, I must.
Are you married?
Oh yeah, 5 kids.
Don't look at it.
Yeah, don't look at it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can't believe you're looking at that video. Is that because? No, this is just for research purposes, honey. That's all it's for.
Alan's with me from Alliance Physical Therapy, the proprietor. This is your show. And 11 to 12 is the hour we want to inform you. This hour is important. This is probably the most important radio hour in the entire market because the client, the person, our client, that is our friend, that has something of value, gets to share that with you, gets to really bond with you between the 11 and 12 o'clock hour. So we try to put shows on between 11 and 12 that are going to be important to you and important in your life. Music is music. There's a zillion music stations. You can listen to that. You know, you can listen to political talk. That's, you know, we can do it. Trump is great, man. He's going to make America great again. Build that wall. Or, you know, we need more social programs. And more. You can get that anywhere. Anywhere. I can take both sides of the coin. You know, we can do that. But you hear it everywhere. But something you're going to get different Mondays at 11 to 12 is information about you, your health, whether you're a liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, can't say Democrat, I'm sorry. No matter where you stand in the political spectrum, this is going to be important to you. This is going to be something different than you've heard of before on the radio, because we're not just talking about one aspect of physical therapy, but Alliance Physical Therapy, if you've never been there, if you really don't have an issue now, you eventually will. There's 10 locations all over the valley. Stop in, check it out. When you open the door, you'll go, wow. I mean, you're really a classy operation, Alan.
Yeah, they're nice facilities.
You really are.
We took my old business, Sport Med Physical Therapy, and I have a medical spa, LA Med Spa as well. We combined physical therapy with that whole spa feel to make the experience different. We didn't want it to be medical.
And you've been doing this 26 years.
26 years. Yep. 26 years. I graduated from Loma Linda University in 1989. So.
And from where did the concept originate?
What, physical therapy?
No, your idea of this.
Again, my business partner is Don Howe, and he was one of the original founders of Benchmark. And so Benchmark is I don't know how big a company it is, but if I had to guess, they're 200 clinics. So they're a national company. We took from his experience with Benchmark, my company, Sport Med Physical Therapy, and my medical spa, and we looked at all the things that we liked about all of them, and then we wanted to take it a little bit different direction and make it an experience where people felt like they were getting more for their money, and an experience that they walk away and say, I want to go back to physical therapy, because at the end of the day, it is a business and compliance is everything. We want you to walk in and feel like your family. We want you to walk out and tell people that we are family, and we want you to walk out and feel like you got more than your money's worth.
And that's how you differ from your competition. When you, and then I've been through this, when you walk into a doctor's office, chiropractor, whatever, those kind of offices, your back starts to hurt even more because and I've been there where you get that cold feeling and you're sitting and waiting and you're already not feeling well. And you may see a tree in the corner and may see that person rush at you with the clipboard, but you're already not, maybe even feeling worse that you're sitting there. You have a different feel with your business. There's a different ambiance that also comes from the people you hire. So what is the process like as far as scrutinizing the employees and as far as training the employees? Because there's a total different feel with your experience than there is with others.
First off, you touched on something that was critical. One of the things that we decided was going to be a big deal. You go in the doctor's office, and I'm only using this as an example. I'm not knocking any.
No, you're not putting anybody down, but people know this. This is the truth.
You go to the doctor's office, and you could sit there for an extended period of time, and your stress factor is going up. We didn't want our clients to do that. We knew when you come to physical therapy, you're in pain, and the one thing you want to be is out of pain.
Right.
So two things that we did. number one, if somebody walks in, we take them back almost immediately. That's when. Are we 100% of that? Probably not. You know, it is run by people. You know how that goes. But we train our employees. Don't let anybody sit waiting in the waiting room. Get them back now. They're here to get
feel
better.
special.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and that's a big part of our business, that customer service that says you're important. Your time's just as important as our time.
Yeah.
We're going to take you back and we're going to get you started, because there's so many things you could be doing before the physical therapist actually puts his hands on you and starts working on your problem. So besides that, when you walk into our facilities, and this is kind of unique to us, we put massage chairs in all of our facilities. So you ever go to the mall and you see those little massage chairs in the mall, you put $5 in there? Well, we have anywhere from 3 to 4 of those chairs in our facilities. So if for some reason you do have to wait, well, guess what you get? You get a nice gourmet cup of coffee. You get to lay back in a massage chair and get this passive treatment while you're waiting for your session. So, and when you get done with the session, you get the same thing on the way out. You get this nice cup of coffee, you get this massage chair, and sometimes we have to kick our patients out of those chairs because they just want to stay in there, you know, and you got patients that need it, you know, so you're back. Those chairs get probably as much use as anything.
And when direct access, this is paid for by the insurance company, your experiences.
Well, and that's all, that's a courtesy service.
It's a value added.
Yeah, it's a
That's
value
a value
added. Because at the end of the day, it's experience. And the one thing that is a little bit different about physical therapy than going to see your physician is this. When you go to see your physician, you're going to go get medication or whatever protocol he's putting together to help you with whatever problem you have. But you're probably not going to go back to see him for 2, 3, 6 weeks.
Right.
With us, you're coming 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks. And what differentiates us from other practices within our field is we don't want you back after that 12th visit.
Right.
We really want you better. Our whole goal is to get you better in about 6 to 12 visits, and not ever have you come back to our facility for that particular problem.
Well, fortunately, a lot of our listeners already understand the process of the medical industry. We don't have to explain it to them. They're that kind of listener. They understand about fluoride and chemtrails and all the bad things for them. This is different because of what, Alan? We really define this from everybody else out there, your 10 locations. Define it for me in one sentence. And I know I'm putting you on the spot on how you differ from every other treatment out there. Give me the difference, and you can relate it to direct access.
Okay, so let me say this. Back pain, or pain, again, we just said is a $650 billion problem in the United States, and it is the leading cost above heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And there's really no money being spent on research for it per se, not like we're spending on these others. And it's the number 2 reason, back pain is the number 2 reason why people go see a physician. Okay. That being said, what was your, I ever ready for?
No, they were good. No, that's you. You're answering my question about back pain. That's what's different is you're addressing.
That's it.
But you're addressing that issue of back pain.
Because of that, what we do is functional in nature. This is the difference. What's nice about what we do is you don't need a magic pill for what we do.
Right.
You need a hand specialist that's much like a mechanic. And I'm not minimizing what we do. And your mechanic is amazing. He goes in there. My mechanic is so amazing. He has a stethoscope. He puts it on the engine. And when he hears a click, he goes through that whole engine to find where the problem is. Well, that is what your physical therapist is like. Why? Because when you're in pain, it causes a loss of function. You can't raise your arm. You can't move your neck. You can't bend over and pick up your laundry. You can't straighten out your knee. Your ankle is not working. You can't walk. It's a functional limitation that prevents you from being good for yourself, your family, your workplace, or the society in which you live in, your community. Okay, so you come in and you've lost function. Well, shoulders is kind of one of my specialties. I love to see a shoulder patient because most time when they come in the door, I'm in 8 out of 10 pain and I can't lift my arm up. And I get in there and I put my hands on them and I find where the dysfunction's at, whether it's coming from the spine, whether it's coming from an impinged nerve within the kinetic chain of that shoulder. And I release whatever the problem is. And 9 times out of 10, I will increase their range of motion by as much as 70% and decrease their pain as much as 70% within that first visit.
I love that because you just painted a picture. Alan is going to be here at the main mic in about a week or two. This is your show. I'd love to be on here with you if you so choose, but absolutely. I'm sure you're going to have guests too. But you've never done this before.
No, I haven't.
So the key is to do what you just did. And you painted a picture.
Yeah.
Because this is radio. This really isn't TV, even though we have YouTube and we shoot Facebook. TV is not radio with pictures. This just gives you a chance to peek in. But painting that picture is so important. And there's only one person listening. So I can tell you've relaxed from the beginning of the interview or the beginning of the process to now. You're almost totally relaxed now. Like I put my arm and gave you some physical therapy because there's really only one person listening. It's like being with your best buddy. Because that listener out there that's listening is my best buddy because they're listening to us and they want to learn something. So this is going to be so important that you give Alan your support. 11 to 12 o'clock on Mondays. If you have any questions at all in this area, you can email us. They can email you, I assume. What is your email address?
Actually, they can't email me, but they can email Sue at my business office. So Sue Hill, that's S Hill, Hill, at nopainpt.com. S Hill at nopainpt.com for any of their questions.
That's such an easy website to remember. nopainpt.com.
nopainpt. And we also have an 800 number.
And what is that?
Which is 844-398-2809. 844-398-2809. So when we're talking about, here's what's unique about direct access. If you're in pain right now and you're listening to this, you can call that number right now. And my business office is educated to help get you into one of our clinics today.
One of 10.
Today.
10.
It may not be the clinic convenient to you, but it's going to be the clinic that's going to help you get out of pain and restore your function so it doesn't become chronic, so that you can be a happy person, especially during this Thanksgiving season. Okay. And so they will find you. And once you've done your first initial treatment, which is usually an evaluation, assessment, and a treatment, then you can schedule your next appointment at the clinic that's most convenient to you.
That's fantastic. I'm interested in this aquatic therapy.
Okay.
What exactly is that?
Okay, so we're talking about a hydro environment, so water therapy.
The water therapy, yeah.
Yeah. So hold on a second. We can't talk about that yet. You need to give up that mic.
Okay, let's do it. We're going to swap. I love this. He's taking control. Here you go. Let's swap.
All right.
You've got the main mic. You are now
the $600 mic now.
You've got the 600.
They put me on the Amazon mic.
And now you are what's called the pilot in control. The PIC.
There you go. What were we talking about again? See, you can't be in control.
The water therapy, the aquatherapy.
Aquatherapy. Yeah. So aquatherapy is actually, it's amazing. And this one simple fact, there are a lot of people that are addicted to opiates. They are on pain, narcotic pain medication, and they're in a lot of pain. Whether it's real or perceived, it's still real to them. It doesn't make any difference. And these people, when they come in the facility, one of the licensed physical therapists evaluates them and assesses them to see what they're capable of doing. And if you've ever met anybody that's on pain medications and they can't even go to work, one of the things that's common about them, they can't get comfortable. They can't do exercises. They're hardly moving, and that in itself is an issue. If you don't move, you aren't going to get better. Period. So what do? You can't do what we call land therapy, and that's where you put them on a table and you do your manual therapy on them. Then maybe you put them on an exercise bike or you put them on a treadmill, some strengthening TheraBands or equipment. Traditionally, what you would do in a physical therapy clinic, they can't tolerate it.
Initially, is it going to hurt more?
Well, no, and that's where I'm going with this. So if you did that with that group of people,
right?
Yeah, they're not going to do it, and they could walk away,
right?
And they were like, "I'm never going to Alliance Physical Therapy. They hurt me." And you hear that from people that go to physical therapy. They hurt me. I'm not going back.
But not to Alliance Physical Therapy.
Well, it can happen. Okay. If you don't educate them up front that there is a chance that you might feel worse
at first.
Then they're going to be upset. Yeah. But that comes through communication, and my people are really good at that.
Well, it's almost like, did you ever, you sit, you watch TV for an hour, and you get up and you have that initial pain?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you work through it.
You work through it.
But you're not sitting there because you're afraid of the pain when you get up.
Right. But that group of people, though, they can't do that type of exercise. So what do? You put them in an aquatic environment.
Oh, okay.
With an underwater treadmill. The temperature goes up to 104 degrees.
Underwater treadmill?
And
really?
There's jets in there. So what you're doing, especially the patients that benefit from this are post-op patients. They're not allowed to be weight-bearing on their ankles and their knees and their hips. Okay, so they've had surgery. So you can put them in there and in a buoyant environment. So they've got, I'm not sure what the percentages are, but I think it takes as much as 70% of your weight off of a joint. And so you're walking on this treadmill or you're doing exercise in this heated environment, and it can be adjusted. So if it needs to be cooler or hotter, that's easily done by the therapist who's taking care of you. Jets are put on to agitate that water so that increases your circulation to promote healing. So these arthritic patients, these patients that are post-op that can't do your traditional land therapy, they get in this pool and then they have a directed program by their therapist to help restore their function in an environment that's tolerable to the patient.
Or even maybe people that don't like me. I don't like to exercise.
Right.
You couldn't tell that by looking at me, but I know you could. But I mean, to get me, and I used to lift weights, but that's about it. But to get me to run, I'm like, why? Or to walk, like, where am I going by? I'm not going to walk in circles. Or to just, I hate it. Right. I hate, when I was a kid in gym and I was fit, I refused to run the quarter mile. I walked it, did it in 15 minutes. They couldn't fail me. But I said, I am not running a quarter mile. I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'll walk it because there's no sound. Why am I running? So you
sound like me. That's terrible. You know what you do to overcome that?
What?
You tell yourself one day, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me tell you, because I was the same way as you were.
Really?
Yeah. Until one day I was in college and I was a phys ed major at the time. Right. And they put a criteria that you could not pass the phys ed program unless you ran the mile in under 13 minutes.
Oh, you're kidding.
And 13 minutes that's not that hard to do. But at the time, I mean, I lost my breath with 2 stairs.
Yeah.
And so I thought this was ridiculous. Here's the thing. I told myself I was going to do this thing. I was going to make it happen. Obviously, I don't know if they'd have kicked me out of the program had I not done it. But after I got it, I just got healthier. I had more energy. And it was for the first time in my life, I realized how valuable walking and running actually was to my health. And so for years up until recently, I ran a lot, and running just it helps you deal with stress and all those types of things.
I still hate runners.
Well, yeah.
Here's the thing. People get up 5 o'clock in the morning to run. Right. I hate them.
My wife.
I don't hate anybody.
My wife does.
But I hate runners.
Half Ironmans and triathlons. That's her thing.
I really don't hate them. I'm kidding.
I can hear her pounding on that treadmill every morning, 5 o'clock, without fail.
Oh, come on.
But here's the thing. With the jacuzzis,
the jacuzzi, as my girl would call it.
Yeah.
She has the jacuzzi.
The aquatic pools. Yeah. People that do run. So this group of people that are avid runners, they're having foot pain, they're having knee pain, they're having hip pain.
Right.
Okay, and they're like, I can't run. That's the group of people that needs to make a phone call to Alliance Physical Therapy. And even if they're not coming in for therapy per se, they can buy a wellness program.
Oh, that's smart.
Right. So for $80, you can come twice a week up to 8 visits in a given month and create a rehab program to get yourself back to running again.
So this is great. If you're going to do the Ironman competition in Chattanooga, this would be a great lead up to that.
Especially if you're having an issue.
Well, you know what? Even not having an issue, because we've seen people that claim to be healthy, and halfway through it, they drop. They drop like a rock.
Yeah, but the thing is, especially this past Ironman, the temperatures were out the roof.
Yeah.
Anybody that finished that was a real Ironman.
Bunch of sissies.
No, whatever, man. I
say that I couldn't walk the quarter mile.
Those
How
guys,
do they do that?
Those guys are amazing.
Oh, I know.
Now, I watched my wife. I can't think that she's ever done an Ironman, but she does half Ironmans, and it's crazy. It's just craziness to me. I mean, I do triathlons every now and then. I get up, and sometimes I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and then I'll go and get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Then I'll get the remote control, and then I'm done with my triathlon. But beyond that, no, I'm not. It's just.
But I'm saying, even guys like me that really, you're not going to convince me right now to do a lot of physical therapy at my age. Well, maybe you would. I got the high blood pressure. Got to lose weight. But could I benefit from that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I can even do that, right?
Yeah.
So that would convince me to come.
Well, if you are the type person, which we've already decided that you are, that you don't like to exercise,
and I'm not just saying it for me. I'm not narcissistic. Actually, I really am, but I'm not for this purpose. I'm not. It's not all about me. Well, most of the time it is, but not now. But there are people like us, like me, out there going, yeah, I agree with them. Oh, wait, I'm in Chattanooga. Yeah, I agree with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you see what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, you will be able to get into a 104 degree temperature pool.
Oh, I love that.
Turn the jets on.
Turn that up, baby.
Do some easy exercise. Walk
Just
on that
walking a little bit. I like
Remember,
that idea.
Did we talk about that at the beginning of the show? My exercise program is a 30-minute hot tub thing. So
no, I love it. Listen, you know how many times I've been in a hot tub thinking, how can I exercise when I'm in a hot tub? Yeah. I'm serious. I'm like, you can actually walk, and I love that.
Your internal organs, your circulation increases, your respiratory system increases, and the point I'm trying to make here is in the appropriate environment where it's not too hot, you will actually burn calories because your body's trying to cool you down.
Okay. Allied Physical Therapy, Alan.
Alliance Physical Therapy.
Alliance Physical Therapy. I'm sorry, what did I say, Alan?
Yeah,
Alliance Physical Therapy. Now, so you would say that. So since now what you have to do is, because Alan's going to be taking the show over, you see how the clock says 2 minutes?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
So that means we have 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So every once in a while you would say AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. Catch us on the web at hotnewstalkradio.com or noogaradio.com, AM 1240. And soon we'll be on an FM frequency.
Excited about that.
In downtown Chattanooga. I'm not going to tell you what frequency yet. We're teasing this. So, and then you can go back to a question or a comment. So you've got the mic, and I'm going to let you. We're going to do this live on the air. I think this is fun.
Absolutely.
So now all of a sudden you see you have your guest on. You have 1 minute and 34 seconds, and you're telling who your guest is and you are, and the station and so on and so forth. Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, what I'd like to finish off with here, how much time we got left?
1 minute and 21 seconds. 1 minute and 21 seconds.
Okay, so I'm looking
But give me the call letters. Give me the frequency.
Yeah, where are the call letters?
Right here, Hot News Talk Radio, Nooga Radio.
1240 a.m. Hot News Talk Radio. We've enjoyed this time with you. You guys need to tune in, but what I really need you to do is to start getting your questions together for our next show.
Yep.
We want to hear from you. We want to know what kind of problems you're having. I don't have all of the answers. Our call-in line is 423-800-8949. You can tune in on Facebook, tune in on the radio app. Again, get your questions together. I don't have all the answers, but I definitely want to know what's going on with you. And if I don't have the answer, one thing I will promise you, I will definitely look it up and see what I can come up with.
And you're going to be on with Russell next week.
Absolutely.
And then maybe solo the week after that, if you so choose.
That'd be scary.
And don't forget, we're also on the TuneIn Radio app.
Oh,
that's one of the most listened to apps. You can listen to us anywhere in the world on the TuneIn Radio app. Nice. That is so cool. And also on Facebook. These smart TVs now have Facebook built in. So you can watch us live on your regular television if you go to YouTube and tune into Hot News Talk Radio.
Excellent.
There she is.
Let's get in the physical.
Alan, thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you helping me out this
your
morning.
show. Alliance Physical Therapist, 10 locations. You're going to hear more about it right here on this great radio station, AM 1240 Nooga Radio, noogaradio.com. Once again, thank you, Alan. And I'll look forward to your show next week.
All right.
Here's what advertisers are saying about AM 1240. HotNewsTalkRadio.com.